Welcome to Worldview India, Mr. President. The Indian Prime Minister is coming here after 18 years. There has been a lapse of 18 long years. Now, what has India meant to you in your evolution, in your sort of intellectual evolution, as it were?
Well, if I go back to my younger age, I was an admirer of Gandhi, of Rabindranath Tagore, and of the Indian history and culture. My first visit to India, it was about a year or so after I came to Cyprus. My wife had gone and taken our daughter there, who was a young girl, a baby, and I went to see the country of my wife. And of course my father-in-law was very good. He has provided us with transport. We went and saw various sites in India. I was impressed about the history of the country, the mentality of the people. And I found that there was a lot which we had in common, the family tradition and all that. At that time, I had no connection with politics. I was a lawyer. And later on, when I became involved and I found the Indian delegations at the UN and we talked, etc., we developed a great friendship because I must say that India stood by our side on three or four issues. One, the independence of Cyprus, the territorial integrity of Cyprus, the solution within the contexts of Security Council resolutions. So we became very fond of India in the sense that we felt we had a big friend near us.
And what kind of an agenda are you preparing for the Prime Minister?
Well, at the moment, our delegations are exchanging views. Some of the matters would refer to strengthening our good relations by taking also practical measures in the sort of field of commerce, industry, culture, etc.
These proximity talks, Mr. Denktash has met Kofi Annan in Salzburg. We hear that these proximity talks, or whatever you call them, are likely to be resumed. Do you see an end to what you call the Cyprus problem?
There will be some form of indirect talks, proximity talks, as we call them. But the important question is not whether Mr. Denktash would return to the procedure. The question is whether he is prepared to negotiate. Because up to now, he has not negotiated. He simply, every time, states what his position is. And then he leaves. And this is exactly what he's done after 5 years after 5 rounds of proximity talks. He repeated what his requirements are and walked out. So it's extremely difficult to conduct negotiations unless both sides have the political will to conduct negotiations which would lead to a solution of the problem. As I usually say, you need 2 people to waltz. You can't waltz by yourself. And the position is that at the moment, encouraged by Turkey, he takes the attitude that his so-called Turkish Republic of Northern Cyprus must be recognized as a separate state.
Do you really want to unscramble the omelette? I mean, here you have the Turks in the north and the Greek Cypriots in the south, and this has been the state of affairs for 26 years, and people have got used to it. You want to disrupt that process?
That is why we accept it. Bizonal, bicommunal federation. That is, the state will be one, the state of Cyprus with one sovereignty. but there will be internal self-administration separate.
The understanding between Ankara and Athens is the key to the solution of the problem of Cyprus. I believe after the earthquake there was some kind of a rapprochement between Turkey and Greece. How has that scenario evolved?
Well, that scenario has not reached the point yet of discussing serious issues. There are serious differences between Greece and Turkey regarding the Aegean, regarding a number of issues, and they have not tackled those issues yet. They are doing a preparatory, let us say, approach by trying to smooth out some smaller problems and to establish a new spirit of cooperation. This is developing, but it hasn't yet come to the crunch. And of course, Cyprus problem is one of the issues on which Greece and Turkey will have to find also an understanding. But at the moment, there is an improvement in the relations between Greece and Turkey on secondary issues, but none of the main issues have been yet put to the test between them.
Thank you very much.
Well, thank you for coming to see me.